For as long as I can remember, my father looked at me like I was a mistake he refused to accept. Victor Hale would study my face, my light eyes, my features, and say it every time, "Too perfect to be mine." Not once did he say it like a joke. He said it like truth. And for 28 years, I lived as proof of a betrayal that never happened. So when he demanded a DNA test, before agreeing to walk me down the aisle, I didn't argue. I agreed. Because this time, the truth wouldn't just clear my mother. It would expose everything he built his ego on. It started at a Sunday dinner. My mother, Alina, sat beside me, barely holding herself together. My grandmother, Vivienne, watched him like she had been waiting years for him to cross one final line. My brother Ryan avoided eye contact completely. Then Victor spoke. "I won't be attending your wedding, Arya." Silence swallowed the room. He slid a document toward me. DNA consent, already signed. "Take the test," he said calmly. "Make the results public. If you're mine, I'll apologize." A pause. "But we both know what it'll show." I didn't sign it. I just looked at him and said, "Thank you for the reminder. I won't forget this." And I didn't. Because this wasn't new. When I was younger, I learned quickly that I didn't belong the way others did. At 12, I wanted to join a school team. He refused, said he wouldn't spend money on someone else's child. That same week, my brother got everything. When I got into nursing school, he didn't celebrate. He said, "Find your real father, let him pay." So I paid. Loans, double shift, sleepless nights. 6 years later, I graduated alone but stronger. The night before I left for college, my grandmother stopped me. "Keep every document from the hospital," she said. "One day you'll need them." I didn't understand then. But I kept them. And years later, they became the key to everything. That night after dinner, I went home. My fiancé, Noah, could see it in my face immediately. "Maybe just take the test," he said gently. "End it." I looked at my ring. "It's not about him anymore," I said. "It's about freeing her." Because years ago, my mother almost didn't survive him. She broke under years of accusations. And even then, he never apologized. Not once. Not for the damage. Not for turning love into something she had to defend every day. He never stopped. At his birthday dinner, he stood up and made a joke. "A cuckoo lays its eggs in another bird's nest," he said, staring at me. "It looks beautiful, but it doesn't belong." That night, I didn't cry. I stood up. I took my mother's hand. And I walked out. That was the moment I stopped trying to belong somewhere that never chose me. Outside, my grandmother finally told us the truth she had buried for decades. "The night you were born, something wasn't right." She showed us records. Times that didn't match. An 11-minute gap. And suddenly, everything made sense. The next morning, I walked into a genetics lab with 3 samples. Mine. My mother. And his. 3 weeks later, the results arrived. I opened them. 0% match with him. Expected. Then, 0% match with my mother. My hands went cold. Because that meant one thing. She had never betrayed him. Not once. The truth was bigger than all of us. So I searched. Called. Dug deeper until I found her. The nurse who was there that night. When we met, she didn't even try to deny it. "You look just like her," she whispered. "Your real mother." She showed me everything. Records. Logs. The truth they buried. 2 baby girls. Born minutes apart. A mistake. And a decision. They realized it. And instead of fixing it, they hid it. I wasn't unwanted. I was switched. And somewhere out there was the daughter my parents were supposed to have. Her name was Liana. When we spoke, something felt familiar, not because we looked alike, but because we both had lived with questions we were never given answers to. We tested, and the results confirmed everything. She was their biological daughter. Not me. But my story didn't end there. Because there was another truth waiting for me. Through the same records, I found her. My biological mother. Clara Hayes. When we met, time felt like it paused. She looked at me like she had found something she didn't know she had lost. Tears filled her eyes before she even spoke. I always felt like something was missing, she whispered. And for the first time in my life, I saw someone look at me without doubt. Only recognition. Only love. Not forced. Not questioned. Just real. We didn't try to replace anything. We didn't rush. But we both knew. Something broken had finally been returned. So I made a decision. Not revenge. Truth. At my engagement party, in front of everyone he had ever tried to convince, he stood there with my DNA report like it was his victory. Reading it out loud. Turning to my mother. You lied. And that's when I walked up and took the mic from his hand. You're right, I said calmly. I'm not your daughter. The room froze. But not for the reason you think. I turned, and Liana walked in. The daughter he had spent 28 years searching for. That's your daughter, I said, the one you were so sure existed. Then I revealed everything. The hospital. The mistake. The cover-up. The truth. For the first time in his life, he had nothing left. No accusations. No control. Just silence. My mother stepped forward. Strong. Unshaken. You didn't need proof, she said. You needed trust, and you chose doubt every time. He broke. Quietly. Completely. But it didn't matter anymore. Because I wasn't there for his apology. I was there to end his power. That night didn't just reveal the truth. It restored it. My mother found her daughter. Liana found her real family. I found mine. And Clara found me. 2 months later, I got married. And when it was time to walk down the aisle, I didn't choose him. I chose her. The woman who raised me. The woman who stayed. Because blood may start a story, but love decides how it ends. And just when I thought the story had given me all its answers, life gave me one more. A quiet one. A powerful one. Because a few weeks after the wedding, I found out I was pregnant. And in that moment, everything became clear. This child will never question where they belong. Will never have to prove their worth. Will never grow up hearing doubt instead of love. Because cycles don't break with truth alone. They break with choice. And I choose love. Every single time. And that's how a broken story turns into a legacy that finally gets it right. If this story touched you, don't scroll past it. Like, share, and subscribe.